These are the most important Easter eggs you can find in the new Uncharted movie. I'm going to give you my favorite 3 and then we'll cover the rest. Got it? Good. If it wasn't obvious enough, yeah, spoilers ahead. Numero uno, we got a very special cameo. At one point in the movie, Chloe and Nate show up at a beach where they have an unusually long interaction with one of the beachgoers. If you were sitting there thinking, who is this rando that's just talking about falling out of planes and stuff like that, that is Nolan North, the original voice actor for Nathan Drake in the Uncharted video games.
I want to run into whatever was chewing on this guy.
Trust me when I say I nearly jumped out of my seat when I saw him. Sorry. Numero dos, a naughty sticker. Whenever you see Nate going through the postcards that his brother Sam left him, you can see a sticker for Naughty Dog, which is the original developer of the 4 mainline Uncharted games. Y numero tres, the cargo plane scene. While it may seem like this was a very poorly chosen CGI fest, it is almost a shot-for-shot recreation of the famous cargo plane scene in Uncharted 3, Drake's Deception. Most notably, in terms of character introductions, we have Chloe Frazier, which is Nate's romantic interest, at least in the beginning, until she becomes more of a femme fatale rival sort of deal.
Is that an ancient Tibetan ritual dagger in your pocket?
Oh, maybe I'm just happy to see you.
She's cunning, smart, snarky. She's basically our mirror version of Nathan Drake. Speaking of Chloe Frazier, in the movie, she got juked into going into the wrong coordinates by Nathan Drake. And she goes there on a speedboat. Actually, there's a lot of speedboat scenes in this movie now that I think about it. And all of those nautical scenes make a clear allusion to the speedboat scenes that we see in A Thief's End between Sam and Nate. Speaking of boats, we should also talk about the ones that carry the gold. The rendition that we see in the movie is very similar to the one that we see in the 4th game called A Thief's End, although I believe they're in different locations. But with that said, the iconography and the setting are very reminiscent. Another treasure-related Easter egg is the one that we see in the helicopter boat chase scene. Boy, that was a mouthful. It is very reminiscent to the moment in the games where we see Nathan Drake being hoisted by a helicopter hanging on to golden treasure. In the movie, it is a bit different because they're actually just holding the entire ship together. I mean, it's a little bit Peter Pan, but I'll take it. Speaking of treasure, in one of the scenes, I believe it is Sully that picks up a piece of gold that is very reminiscent to a Southeast Asian relic, and I believe that is a direct reference to one of the video games where we end up going to Shangri-La in search of treasure. Let's move on to the post-credit scene. Just like in the video games, the movie gives us the big reveal that Sam is still alive. Within the context of the movie, Sam is being kept at an undisclosed location, which is not a direct mirror of the video games because we know that Sam is being kept in Panama. I truly believe that they're gonna take that plot point from the 4th game, A Thief's End, and stick it into the 2nd movie where we see Nate go and rescue Sam from prison. And now let's talk about the 2nd post-credit scene. We get to see Tom Holland's Nathan Drake meet up with an undisclosed contact in a cafe. Cool Easter egg for Game of Thrones right there. The contact that he's meeting is Pilou Asbæk, the person that plays Euron Greyjoy in Game of Thrones. At that moment, Pilou's character explains that they want to make a trade, a treasure map for Nate's ring. He also remarks that a person named Roman is looking for a treasure left behind by the German army during the 2nd World War. You know, we're trying to keep it PG, try to avoid the YouTube police over here, so German army, 2nd World War, you know exactly who we're talking about. They were searching for... As soon as he described the treasure, we knew exactly what he was talking about because in the 1st game, Drake's Fortune, that's exactly the plot point that we follow. So don't be surprised if that ends up being one of the plot lines in the sequel. During that post-credit scene, we also get a couple more saucy Easter eggs, most importantly, Sully's mustache. The internet, including myself, were very curious to see if Sully was going to be portrayed just like the games with his iconic mustache and the cigar. I was very disappointed during the film, but they ended up fixing that during the post-credit scenes. Because Mr. Marky Mark got both, and that is a-okay with me. Speaking of Sully, we have the final Easter egg in the movie. He jumps in to save his friend Nate after they hustle the undisclosed contact. And as soon as they leave the cantina, of course, everybody in the wrong side of the fence is there to get them. Pretty standard way to end a movie, but if you look closely, Nate is holding one of the golden weapons. The golden guns are an iconic portion of the Uncharted franchise, and they're available in every entry. They serve different purposes, some of them cosmetic, and some of them make them super OP. You can literally land some one-hit KOs if you land them right. And in this case, Tom Holland is holding the iconic golden 9mm, which could also be an Easter egg to GoldenEye in James Bond, but I mean, hey, I'll take that. All right, those are all of the Easter eggs that I could find from my first viewing. I'm gonna be watching it twice to see if I have any more for you, but just in case I do, make sure to hit that subscribe button, like the video, share it with your friends, and make sure to put that notification bell on so you can get instant notice for whenever I post a video and whenever I go live. Also, if you want to support the channel a little bit more, we also have YouTube memberships. All you have to do is click the join button that you see on my page and see which membership tier fits the budget for you. Again, this is not mandatory, but it is very much appreciated. With that said, familia, that is it for me. Remember to crack a smile, just ride the wave, and I'll see you on the next one. Plow!